Ah, interesting. So let me bring it up to speed. The last time we looked underneath this car, we were looking at an oil leak. And originally I thought it was oil pan, like the gasket and maybe the oil plug. But upon further inspection, it looked like maybe it was the transfer case, which uses a brown motor oil-like oil. And I cleaned it all up and I sprayed it with this to give it a nice white coating, with the hopes that if it's leaking out, we could see where it's coming from, where it's emanating from, and confirm, if that something isn't dripping from above it or whatnot. So it's been about 200 miles or so, and I think it's time to let's raise this baby. Big reveal. Let's look underneath. Ah, interesting. I hope you can see it. So right there's the drip. You can see, I don't know how well you could see this, but so there's clearly the drip. And if you look over here, you can, at least I can see, there's the dried powder. Here's the wet powder. I want to try to get you up there. Like right where that axle enters the transfer case, it looks like, yeah, like it's a small leak, not a ton. Actually, if I come down here, I see it on that side too. So I'm gonna go do some research. This is a schematic specifically of the transfer case, and what you see here is the port where you can inspect the fluid level, which is this is indicating, and where you would actually fill. So what I need to do is open up, crack that nut, take it out, and then put my finger in there and confirm if it's at the proper level. Because if this is the source of the leak, then I would expect this level would be down, and that would confirm, or at least corroborate, it is the transfer case that is the source of the leakage. Remove that filler bolt and take it out and put my finger in there and kind of see how low the oil is. Okay, I cracked this with a socket. I think it was a 23 or 24. Oh, criminy. Okay, well, hang on. Okay, well, I guess it's full. So let's take a look at this schematic. So this is the transfer case for reference. All right, there, that nut, that is the fill nut that I just removed, and we saw plenty of fluid in there. However, I still think the leak is coming from this interface here between where the transfer case interfaces with the joint shaft. So the joint shaft, as you see here, normally goes into the transfer case, but on this side is where normally the CV axle, but I believe that there should be an oil seal somewhere between this flange, somewhere in there, to keep oil from the transfer case from coming out. So let me go grab a different schematic as well. So let's bring this one into view. So this is a reverse order. You just got to take note that this is the driver's side in this view, and this is the passenger side. So it is swapped. But this right here, that oil seal, I believe, is what I need to replace. And that is number 2. So that is right here. That is the transfer oil seal. So that is what I believe I need to replace. I gotta find it, get the part number, and replace that seal. You just saw the research I did. So, okay, so for terminology, that is called the joint shaft. And I think the interface between here and the transfer case in there is that oil seal. That's the CV axle. So, here's the plan. Take the wheel off, take the stabilizer link off, take the ball joint, it's gonna kill me, I just smashed that thing on, but take the ball joint back off. And then I think you just separate this, the CV axle, from this, what they call the joint axle. And with the ball joint removed and the link removed, this whole thing from the strut to the wheel should just kind of flop around. So smash that this way, out of the way, that separates, and then I'm somehow able to pull this out, and that shaft that there was on the diagram, like, I don't know how long that is. It looks pretty long in the picture, so who knows what it's really gonna look like, but somehow I gotta get all this garbage out of the way so that I can pull the joint shaft out and then get access to the oil seal. So, all right, that's the plan for now.
Ring, ring, answer phone. To my office, walk, walk. Ring, ring.